Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. There's a new convention in town, and it's sure to be mega fun without the mega expense. Comics, toys, collectibles, pop culture. ShadowCon, Saturday, February 1st, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Copper Twine Comics and Wednesday Sham. Hang on. Silverline Comics and Wednesday Wham. So, yes, tonight we are talking about parody in comics, and we're hopefully going to have some good laughs along the way. We're going to poke a little bit of fun at some of our own Silverline books, but we'll talk about the history of where it might have come from and what's going on in parody comics. And if anybody out there in the world of the interwebs has any suggestions as to some parody comics that are safe for families, please let us know. I went and looked up possibilities, and I was like, whoa, hang on.
Yeah, the keywords there are appropriate for families.
Yes. So there was stuff that was like, okay. You can get into some very strange territory with parody. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the evening show, and we're glad you can join us. And Kasisi slipped in on the radar. So Kasisi, because you came in last,
he came
under the radar. You get the start of the night.
Right into the podcast.
All right, I am Kasisi Harris. You can call me Cass. Writer here at Silverline, wrote a small little story about Trumps in the Christmas special. And then we have a Silverline team up coming out with Miss Fury, Tempest, and a character named Sigma that will be introduced.
Sigma.
So you're allowed to release that now, eh?
I'm just gonna say
it. Well, that's the way you build up excitement too, right? You gotta do. We don't know anything else other than the name Sigma.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna do the long like dropping nuggets, right?
Yep.
All right. Awesome.
Breadcrumbs.
All right. Next on the list, we will go with Barb.
That way. Yep. My name's Barb Kelberg, longtime inker, 36 years now. I am the creator of Divinity and the CFO of Silverline, and I'd like to let everybody know that we are currently running a Kickstarter. Not Kickstarter, a crowdfunder.
Oh,
Sorry.
Crowdfunder. Fund my comic.
Kickstarter's a trademark, yeah.
Yeah. A crowdfunder for Cat and Mouse Vipers, #1. And then, as you can see on the screen there, I have posted the link. It's in the comment section. And right now we are at 138%, but we have 10 days to go, and it would be so awesome if we could make that like 200%. We are currently in a stretch goal, so I'm not quite sure what that stretch goal is because have my nose in my iPad all day.
Yeah, it's over on. To go to that link and you'll see what it is. Yep.
Okie doke.
Hey,
Next.
take it away, Rob.
I guess that's me. I'm Bor Sivad.
That's backwards.
Rob Davis backwards.
Bor
Sivad.
Sivad.
Yeah, Bor Sivad. I'm Rob Davis, longtime
Brad.
comic. There you go. Longtime artist. It started out life in comics as a letterer, then an inker, then a penciler, and it inked. It penciled everything from ancient history of Merlin all the way to the future with Captain Kirk and company, and everything in between. The latest that I've done is for Silverline, and that was Twilight Grim, which just finished up being in comic book shops. Let's see, here's one right there, and we'll be talking about that a little later, Martin and I, but as part of our silliness tonight. But yeah, I've been at this about as long as Barb has, about 35, 36, somewhere in there. Number of years, and once you get the comics in your blood, you can't get it out.
That's right.
There.
It's like the
It's
herpes
there
virus.
to stay.
Yep.
Oh,
thanks,
that's
Barb.
a horrible way to put it, but yeah.
Well, and I'm.
Soros.
Yikes. And hello, everyone. I'm Martin Mertonen, and I am the person who uses his box of crayons to color our books, and that makes. Well, I colored Wolf Hunter 1 and 2, and Wolf Hunter 2 is looking spectacular with the letters, and it's a great story. It moves really, really well and reads really well. So I was surprised that you could get an adventure on a train, and it was excellent. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Wolf Hunter 2 is coming out soon. So we mentioned earlier the crowdfunder, which is Cat and Mouse Vipers, which is now going for stretch goals. So thank you everyone who's already pitched in. And if you haven't pitched in and you want to get in on the ground floor of awesome adventures, this is a place to go. So yeah, Vipers, Cat and Mouse. It looks fantastic and is a great book. So let's just scroll down. Let's see some of this art. Yeah. So snakes that walk.
Snakes and cats and mouses. So what can go wrong?
Yeah.
Snakes
all right.
in the French Quarter.
So comics is parody. Comics is parody with the I think when everyone hears comics and parody, where's the first place people's minds go to?
Mad Magazine.
Magazine, yeah. So Mad Magazine.
Super Duper Man.
Yep. Now they apparently closed their doors in 2017 or 2019. Somewhere around there was the last Mad Magazine
with new stuff. Yeah, I think they're doing reprints and occasional little extra pieces. So it's still being published, but it's mostly reprints.
Yeah,
from what I understand. I haven't even looked at it in years, so I don't know all the details. So
Mad Magazine. I remember going to the library when I was a kid, and we ended up picking up some of those copies because my dad kind of got a good chuckle out of it. I don't think my mom cared for them too much, but somehow I was allowed
But that's
to
the
read
whole
them.
point. That's the point.
But they had the superior product for at least movie parody, and always in their first story was always the movie parody that ended up
What you're showing there, though, is a TV parody. That's
yeah.
Magnum PI. It looks like.
Yeah. So Mort Drucker was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
He was an amazing artist, and he did it. Now Matt had a competition with Cracked, and I can tell you I've read Cracked magazine when I was a kid as well, but I can't say I remember a single story from Cracked, like not a single one. So that's kind of interesting. Now, Rob and Barb, maybe Rob. Do you recall when Mad Magazine came out?
Oh, no.
I wouldn't. Well, I think it came out the same year I was born. So no.
Yeah, I wasn't even a gleam in my dad's eye yet. So
yeah.
So it's very interesting because Mad Magazine, when they first started out, was actually a full color book. Oh, sorry,
it was a comic book. It was a comic book,
it looked, and this was the kind of stuff that they were producing. So Lone Stranger Rise Again, which is obviously a parody of Lone Ranger, and many people don't even know who Lone Ranger is these days. But like, this was awesome. Like, I'm not sure who the artist is on this, but I know I've loved this guy.
Looks like maybe Jack Davis.
It could be, yep.
Yeah.
And this is a Jack Davis cover here.
Absolutely, yeah.
I absolutely love this.
No relation, by the way. People are always asking me. No, I wish. But no.
Yeah, so Jack Davis had fantastic art. His stuff had amazing movement and really, really good good humor.
Another great caricaturist. He could capture people, and unlike anybody else, and yet put them in these weird, funny, funky bodies, and it's just amazing artwork.
So
did a lot of movie posters and stuff. So
yeah,
it's serious work as well as the mad silly stuff.
Yeah. So their competition was this, which was Cracked, which kind of looked like this in the 80s. Let's see if I can find this was the very first issue of Cracked, and that's what that looked like, which is a far cry from where they went to, but very interesting to see how things changed and progressed over time. So Mad Magazine, by the time they hit issue 40, they had already switched over to a black and white format at that point. So it was pretty quick before by the time they switched over to a kind of a different approach, and their story style and how they did stuff changed pretty dramatically pretty quick. But that said, parody comics kind of started back here with this guy called Honoré Daumier. I can't say that he's the progenitor of satire comic stuff, but back in the 1800s, I think this fellow was born in the 1800s, early 1800s. So, but his stuff I saw it in the National Gallery of Ottawa, and it was absolutely insane. His artwork. He wanted to be a fine artist, and he ended up doing a couple of satirical pieces, and that took off, and people wanted that, and he grudgingly continued to produce this work.
Typecasting.
So, but you can see the form, and you can see the pushed humor, and the body shapes and whatnot, and then you can also see how that kind of informs where the modern guys went as well. So, in a sense, comics are a form of parody, I guess, across the board, because you're kind of aping what's real life and
that's true.
pushing
That's
it.
true.
You're pushing
Never
it
thought
to
of it that way, but that's very
a
true.
degree. Yeah. So and then you can move it to serious, or you can move it to complete farce and everything in between, right? So yeah. All right. This is some more of the Mad Magazine early works that came out, and
Oh wow.
that's Jack Davis as well.
Is that guy shooting himself in the head? Is that what?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like these guys had a very special brand of humor.
Very
Like,
warped.
yes, but the thing with Mad though is they pushed it to an edge, but they didn't cross a certain line. And then there's other books that came out that they would cross those lines, and it didn't. It for some reason wasn't as
Star
acceptable.
Wars.
Here's
Awesome.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's more
I knew that
Drucker.
would,
Yeah.
I knew that would pop up sooner or later.
So this is more Drucker's Star Wars, and apparently he would watch the movie or whatever once and was able to. I think I read this. I could be wrong. Somebody might be able to correct me on this. But he apparently would watch a movie once and was able to then nail the caricatures the first time around.
That's talented.
I think. I could be wrong. Now, there's another cartoonist that existed. You could say his stuff was a form of parody, which is Al Hirschfield. He did a lot of stuff for plays, and he would watch the play, and he never used reference for his people, as far as I understood. He would just watch them, and then he would write notes. The notes would be what he would use as his trigger to create the caricature, and then when you saw that person, you immediately knew who it was, which is fascinating.
You got minimalist drawings, very few lines,
Yeah.
mostly to caricature people. Incredible work, Hirschfield.
All right. So, yes, and this would probably be one of the first for the older generation, one of the first parody comics that people remember, which is Super Duper Man, which of course is the parody of Superman.
Is he punching an old man on crutches? Is that what that is? Or is he
yes,
is he saving him, or is he punching?
No, he's punching him.
Okay. All right. I can dig. Okay. All right.
And his shirt says "Good Housekeeping." Now,
Yeah.
if you notice here, this is done by Wallace Wood, who we talked about last week, or was it the week before? And yeah, so the story goes that Super Duper Man is this very lame reporter, and he has the hots for Lois Lane.
Oh,
And
hubba hubba, who wouldn't?
and then he
Is she actually named Lois Lane in this, or is it like a different?
Oh no! Yeah, we should find out. I think they'd probably do joke names on these characters. Let's see.
If you don't know off the top of your head, it's okay. It would be funny.
Yeah. She keeps thinking he's a creep. It doesn't say what her.
Yeah, it doesn't say her name. That's okay.
It does. They say Lois. So
Lois, whatever. Who knows what the last name is? But yeah,
Right. Yeah.
right.
And she was sitting on W. Twitchell's desk, like Walter Winchell from back in the day, back in the 50s. He was a big. See the little sign on the desk in the first panel. W. Twitchell.
Mm-hmm.
That Walter Winchell.
Mm-hmm,
So,
that's
yeah.
what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who it's a parody of. Yeah.
And then they got stuff on the wall here. Here, Super Snooper, Super Duper Mutual of Superior, super, all sorts of super stuff. Spencer the Censor.
Spencer the Censor.
And so here he jumps into the phone booth, and there's a woman in there who screams at him, and then
he's running out in his shorts.
And then he runs out the door, and then he finally. So now here's an interesting question for you guys. What makes a good parody in your mind? What makes a parody work? Why? What do you need to tap into to have a parody work?
All the
Makes sense.
cliches, all
Yeah.
the cliches, and turn them upside down. Yeah.
Right. So you have to if you're going to parody a product, number one, the people have to know what the product is, and the second thing is you have to reference the original character or characters. You have to reference those original characters in such a way that you instantly recognize that this is who the character is supposed to be, and then you push it to the nth degree, to the like, and then you like completely blow it out of the water, right?
Almost like you have a good one will take the visual, right? We'll take the heart of the visual and paste that over, but then take the flaw and then make that like super duper dominant in that
Yeah.
person's
Obvious.
personality.
Yes, exactly. All
But
right.
the flaw
Yeah,
that's
if-
inherent in the actual person, though. So that's what makes
Yes.
it relatable. You
Yes,
like,
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
You push the flaw.
If I was doing Superman, the first thing that always bugs me about Superman's outfit is he looks like he's wearing his underwear on the outside, and I would double down on that. I would put BVDs on him.
With
Yeah, the brand, yeah.
little heart shapes or polka dots or
Yeah.
something weird. Yep.
Has anyone popped up the comment here from Acres of Movies? Should there be a spy versus spy show or a movie
Yeah,
made?
I was airing that stuff. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I think that would be. Yeah.
Didn't
it
they-
would have to be.
I thought they
I'm thinking
made
they
one,
did,
but
didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
But what I
something
like
that
about
was
the-
based on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are your favorite Mad Magazine fold-ins? I don't remember, but yeah. So back in the day, long time ago, if people
They were
people
usually
remember
topical. So
yeah, there's these
today
fold-ins.
You wouldn't remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this big giant image and it had all this crazy stuff on it, and then you could take that crazy image and fold it, and it ended up having a second image that was made from the image fold.
Those
It-
I
it
love
was-
those.
Those were pretty crazy. Like, and whoever the artist who did those, like, he was insane. Like how he came up with that stuff, no idea. So yeah, so here this parody works really well because they reference the characters and get them right down to the core of who and what they are, and then totally play up. He blows up his own head. Oh dear. So Superman dodges and then he punches himself in the head, and since he's super powered, he nukes himself.
Yeah.
Now here's the question: does the parody have to be funny?
Well, parodies generally are. They can be mean.
Well, it
So-
depends. There are certain kinds of parodies, like
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is to a certain extent a parody, and there are humorous elements of it, but it's done seriously and it's taken seriously, so can be done that way. And apparently, I just looked on my iPhone and Googled it, and apparently there's supposed to be a spy versus spy movie next year, 2026.
Oh, okay.
So that could be interesting how they do that. But anyway, yeah.
So this is actually an original art page for by Jack Severin. Severin. I'm not sure if it's Jack, but he was a fantastic artist. I think this was for Cracked magazine, and this was their version of
the Cracked.
This was their version of Bonnie and Clyde, and they go into before we
John
go.
Severin, isn't it?
John
Yeah,
Severin, yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes. Before we
John
go
and
into
Marie.
put this mask on, Clyde. Okay, but Bonnie, I can't see through it. That's the idea. silly stuff. But
You're
I mean,
easily
the art is
amused.
but the art is fantastic. Let's see. Oh right. So in the modern day, Image.
And he changes the characters. It's Liz Taylor and Richard Burton playing Bonnie and Clyde. Well, boy, that turns it on its head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's played by Liz Taylor and Richard Burton. Oh, that's funny. Oh dear. Wow. So in the modern day, we have Image Comics. Image Comics decided to do a parody of themselves. And we also had Marvel Comics do some parody of themselves as well with their Not Brand Ek. Let's see if I can find those. Here we go.
That Image thing is by Don Simpson.
Yes.
Nice.
And this is Not Brand Ek, which was Marvel making fun of themselves and poking themselves in the eye a little bit. And let's see if there's another. Here's another one. Oh, they're parodying Superman on their cover. Were they allowed to do that?
Superman.
And in the modern era, some parody comics that exist are something like this, which is called Weapon Brown, which takes Charlie Brown and makes him sort of an assassin.
That's pretty cool. I like
that's
hilarious. Yeah.
That is great.
I'm gonna have to look that one.
That's amazing. That's on Indie Planet.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's on Indie Planet. And then I found
that's hilarious.
I mentioned this last week that the Night Wasp, which I think is a parody of Batman, and it has a giant chicken man for
Chicken Man.
for what it's for its villain. Cluck Cluck. Guess the judge digs Linrid Skinrid because he just yelled Freebird. So this book is actually very funny. The dialogue is like absolutely hilarious, and I think it's like a parody of Batman meets kind of like the Avengers or something. It's pretty interesting stuff. It's really well done too. It's not just like kind of slapped together stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't look amateurish as some.
No, it's really well done. Yeah. There was one. Oh yes, and then there's the Night Watchman. I don't know if anyone knows about this, but this is where you can get into an interesting thing where you not only parody storytelling, you're also parodying a style. So this comic here, Night Watchman, parodies Sin City. So it's parodying Batman. It's parodying Frank Miller's art style, and then it's parodying all the like Image comics at the time. So there was a lot of layers going on in this book that was quite fascinating. If you ever were to read it, just so you know, it is a pretty brutal book, but it is parody. So you can parody on multiple levels. So yeah. So that's kind of interesting. And now, what would we do if we were to parody ourselves?
Uh-oh.
What would we do as Silverline if we were to parody ourselves?
Ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd probably have, since I'm the accounting and inker, I'd probably have my hair in a bun and a pen brush sticking out of one side and a pencil sticking out of the other one, or something like that, or calculator.
Oh, sorry, I should have been more clear. Our books. What would we?
Oh, our books. But you said us, ourselves. You said ourselves.
You got him, Barb.
Silverline.
You got him, Barb.
So, we'll get there in a second. So yeah, so the first thing I have come up with, if we were to parody ourselves, is well, we would need a name change, folks. We would need to call ourselves let's see here. Whoops, did I? So as I introduced ourselves at the start of the night, here we are as
Wednesday Sham.
That's we definitely are sham.
Copper wine.
Copper
Yeah.
Twine. Copper
Copper
Twine.
Yeah.
Copper Twine Comics.
Okay.
Yes. And that would be our
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
That's a ring to it.
Yeah, I like that. Except for the sham part.
Yeah.
How about copper string? Since copper.
Yeah, copper string. Yeah, go the
Mhm.
whole way. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay,
but
good.
I did look it up. Copper Twine does actually exist. It is an actual thing. So yes, and our first book that here we go. Rat and Grouse. Rat and Grouse. So this is a concept I came up with, and if you notice here, grouse is now cat. Cat is the grouse. Grouse is a type of bird, and
Okay.
he has the fan because they have a big fanish tail, and he has the big feather bit behind his neck. But of course, we keep elements of the original character, such as his vest and his pants. But I gave him some grouse feet, and
Gross feet.
and then Mouse is now rat, and this is based off of the Nutria rat down in
Oh
Louisiana.
my god.
And-
Those are
and
supposed
they're-
to be very nutritious.
Yes, and then so because they also have like very big teeth in the front, I gave her buck teeth, and her whip would be her rat tail.
Yeah.
So so here we go. The grouse is telling a rat, "You have the blandest costume on the planet," and she says, "You're a little ostentatious. Don't you think you're drawing too much attention to ourselves?" So yeah. Of course, they would have to fight. Who would they have to fight? They would have to fight the window baker.
Oh my god.
I would have gone with the brown recluse myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brown recluse could have been good. Yeah.
So the premise
Oh,
of this
I'm not
tale.
coming out of the house. I'm going to stay in the house.
So the premise of this tale would be that she cooks bakeries, and maybe she slips something into the products, and then she has the window cleaners who make sure that the products can be seen all over town and deliver them. So yeah, that would be.
Martin is having entirely too much fun.
I know.
with this.
Like I said before, he's very easily amused.
Well,
Oh.
he needs to show the ones you came up with too.
Oh yeah. Well, I intended to, but I ended up clicking the wrong button. I'm terribly sorry. So I have to go with this now. And so now one of the other characters that we happen to have will be Fleeman.
Oh, yeah.
That is cute.
So, oh man, these fleas. Is that a tick? And he has a giant tick on his arm. So if you guys don't know, this is the demon character, and I gave him actually like 6 tails instead of 3, and I made him much more animalistic in the sense that he would actually, have to deal with animal problems and have animal feet. Yeah. So that's Fleeman. All right. Let's see if we can find Barb's. Oh, here we go. Barb's divinity. Here, let me heal you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Kaz, you haven't seen these yet?
No, I have not.
You haven't been online.
Oh
and you
my
haven't been to the
God.
messenger page. Oh my god! Just wait. It gets worse.
So-
If that's
so-
possible.
So if people don't know, Divinity is Barb's character that she's created, and that character has a healing ability who can heal people with her hands. But here we are playing on the heel where she
And the
kicks-
divinity.
Oh, my
and the
God.
divinity. Yes.
Give her angel.
Oh, with the
angel
angel
wings.
wings.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Oh, and then Barb also sent in the Wolf Hunter.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm not sure if Warner Brothers would have problems with this or not, but yeah, this could be an interesting version of Wolf Hunter.
Yeah, you should have spelled it like W-U or something. Yeah.
Wolf. It's the
Man.
wolf. It's the wolf.
Yeah, the wolves. I'm hunting wolves.
All right. Let's see. What else do we
Wabbits,
have?
yeah.
Okay.
Wabbit hunter.
And then here's Barb's version of Cat and Mouse Vipers.
Oh, wow. Oh, got blood and everything on it.
Oh,
Glory.
man. Yeah.
And she's got her.
Yeah.
Got the earring and the whip.
And the weapon, yeah.
Oh, there you
Love it.
Was this an actual image that you found, or did you composite this somehow?
Yes.
She did both. She did both.
free PNG downloads, and then I merged things and drew over them and stuff like that. Like I drew in the earring and the
Mm-hmm.
and the
And the
whip
chain?
Yeah. And
Okay.
all of the cartoon stuff, I like the snake. I merged into it. And
Right.
I love Procreate.
Yeah, it's a Photoshop like job. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I told these guys before, I says don't expect much because I had like an hour to whip out all of these.
Oh yeah.
I had very little time to do mine too.
Well, all right.
And Martin came up with the idea, so we'll get to
let's
that
see
here in a
if
little
we
bit.
where. Okay, yeah. So all right, let's introduce
Oh.
that with
I like
Yes,
that
sir.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Twilight Grim. All right, so folks, if you're not
That's pretty good.
if you don't know your comics characters, this is the Thing, also known as Ben Grimm. So
Even the spelling of his last name is the same.
yeah, that's correct. So all right, so
And
I
you
came up with a couple variations on Twilight Grim, and so I sent a sketch to Rob, and he whipped this out. Spotlight Slim.
Oh wow!
So
Wow.
the premise. So this is where this will work
Spoilers.
as a parody, right? So
Yeah.
so the reason why it'll work is because you're driving at the core of the character, and then you're moving it, and so the idea was that this character is super vain, and he's a live streamer who hunts vampires, but he always has to have the spotlight on him. So he has spotlights on a drone following him around, and then wherever he goes, women always throw themselves at him. And so while he's hunting vampires, at the same time he's hunting the vampires, the women throw themselves at him nonstop. So he's fighting off the women as he fights the vampires. And so and then not only is he fighting the vampire women will be throwing themselves at him. So he is constantly struggling with those things, and then his vanity also gets in the way as well. So I think that would be a fantastic.
And the spotlights also give
Kill
off
the vampire.
sunlight, so they
Yes.
hurt the vampires. So
Right,
yeah.
exactly. So I think that would be a fantastic parody. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I
that'd
love
be
it.
good.
So, and Rob did a fantastic job based off of this. Where is it? There.
Oh, I was
There
gonna say
it
based on a blank piece of
So-
Based on nothing.
So based on this, he managed
Yeah.
to make this
I
happen.
printed
So
I printed it out.
so
and
he did
had
a
it
great
on the
job
table.
in a very short period of time. So I think this
Yeah.
has legs. It can run. So
Jeez.
but I came up with another variation on this as well, which is Carlight Flynn. So he drives a Barracuda, which is covered in lights, and of course in the background.
Yeah.
And this would be kind of more set in the 70s, and he'd be kind of like a cowboy character.
Or he could be set in the 80s and be like Miami
Right.
Vice.
Something like that, yeah. So, and then of course, the same basic premise where all the women are throwing themselves at him at the time, but in this case, he'd be completely oblivious. He wouldn't like completely ignore them, and just do his thing.
And I guess the flashlight and headlights kill vampires. Is that how?
Yes, exactly. And then he also has a gun and knives and other things as well. So.
Wow.
All right, let's see. Did Barb have another one? I think Barb has another one here.
I did. With
yes.
the cards. Yeah.
Trumps.
Oh wow.
Trumps.
Yes, that's good.
So here we go.
Uno, I love that. That's great.
So yells Uno, and then the Jack says, "I'm going to lay you face down." That boy's been shuffled one too many times. His parents dealt him from the bottom of the deck.
Yes.
So, if ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't aware, Trumps is one of our books, which is a sci-fi tale based on the card game called Trumps, and it reflects the card game extremely well as to what goes down, and the characters in that book are absolutely fantastic. Well, I too came up with my version of this, which is Grumps.
Yep.
That'd be good.
That's a good one.
Yep.
And so this would be all the Trumps characters except they're in a nursing home.
Oh my God.
That'd actually be fun to read. That'd actually be really, really fun to read.
That could be fun. Yes.
Yeah, scheming in the old folks' home. It would be so funny to read.
And so it would revolve around them getting to their weekly bridge game or their Trumps game, and then
I could see one that's got dementia and is driving their chair around and into everybody and in everything.
That would be great. Yeah.
And then if you wanted to incorporate the sci-fi aspect into it, then you could maybe the sci-fi aspect of it is that like these characters that live in the old folks home end up wearing 3D reality glasses, and so then they're able to live their dreams in the virtual reality world, and then maybe you don't know what's real and what's not real, and then they can't process this information anymore because they're too old, and so I don't know. So I thought that would could.
I think you just have the nursing home. Yeah, you could just have the nursing home be futuristic and have them,
that too.
Struggling with trying to figure out how to do so. It would just be funny.
Yes. Yeah. So this one I think has some interesting thoughts.
Well, I don't know how I do that, but every once in a while I do that. I don't know how that happens.
All right, I have one left in my payload, and that's pay less. So K-Less are the ultimate dad comic. If you guys don't know, out there in internet land, K-Less is an absolutely fantastic comic.
About a deadbeat dad.
And Payless though is well, let's read the text and maybe you'll get an idea of where I was going with this. So the guys in the background, his ideas are as bulletproof as he is. What do? We're the IRS and CIA. We make them pay. And then he says, I didn't fall from space for no reason. That was your wasted tax dollars at work. Not one more red cent. Your taxes are a bust. So my idea here was that this character comes back from outer space to fight taxes, and he refuses to pay. Therefore, pay less. And he also wants always to pay the least amount of money for everything.
Wow.
and then he would embed, and then we would embed in him every single conservative talking point, and then he would fight. That was my thought for that one. So those are the parodies of Silverline that I have on tap. Now, are there any other books that you guys think we could? Oh, we also have a parody book of our own that Silverline has put out.
Rejects.
Rejects. Now, is there any other books that you guys think we could parody?
Silverline books? Probably all of them to some degree.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard to do some of them, like Teen Beetle. I think yeah.
Oh, right. So obsoletes. So my idea for that one was the not so neats.
Not so neat.
Not so neat.
They'd be garbage men. What about Cray?
Oh yeah, you could probably do that one pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know though.
Beyond the Stars?
Mm,
Dancing
Mars.
with the Stars?
Dancing with the Stars.
oh,
Teen Beetle.
see, I don't know if you could. Isn't that like too? It'd be difficult to do that, right? You'd have to turn it completely on his head and make it like super serious, maybe. Like I don't know how you would. And that's why I was asking: does it have to be a comedy? Because
Teen Dung Beetle.
my variation was going to be Teen Beagle.
Beagle.
and then he would howl a lot and dig holes. Yeah. All right. Let's just show off our book rejects here. And now, do you guys have any other thoughts on comics as parody?
Comics as parody? I know. Well, the first thing that flashed into my mind when you said parody wasn't a comic; it was a movie, and that was Airplane.
Oh yes.
Oh god.
Don't call me Shirley.
I don't know if people watch that. I know it's. I can't get it.
I don't really like parody movies, but that one came out right after Airplane, or not Airplane. The disaster movies, and it was a take on all the Poseidon Adventure and Towering Inferno and all that crap. It was
fun of all the tropes in those movies.
It was making fun of all of the disaster movies, and I did watch it. I wasn't a big fan, but there were some pretty good nuggets in there, like "And Don't Call Me Shirley."
Yep.
And what about Spaceballs?
Spaceballs. Oh yeah.
Spaceballs. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Any of
the Naked Gun movies, right? All of them.
All the Naked Gun movies. Hey, and that reminds me, Liam Neeson has done a new Naked Gun movie.
Yes, that's right.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to be in a new Naked Gun. That's right.
That's right.
So,
I saw a little snippet of it where he was wearing a little schoolgirl dress and was showing his underwear.
So I watched the trailer and I was like, this isn't funny until the very last bit. And then I was like, I sat there for a second and then I just started laughing because the last little thing in the clip actually was funny. But
I guess what was the Batman with Jim Carrey as the Riddler? I guess he did a parody. I mean, I would consider that character that he played compared to what the Riddler was a parody, wouldn't you? Like,
yeah, he kind of chewed on the scenery a bit.
Which was which was everything that was in that movie. Which is
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to offend.
That was no.
I think the entire movie
that
was
whole
horrible.
movie. Schwarzenegger
Right,
as Mr. Freeze.
Is that the one where they had the nipples on the outfits?
Yes.
Oh God! Don't even get me started on that.
Oh man,
Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks was a parody movie of all the alien movies, from the 50s.
And like Armageddon and those kinds of things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, Tropic Thunder was
so good.
which is
all the
weird.
Vietnam movies. Yeah.
And can we say Austin Powers? Millions of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a real a parody of all James Bond and Matt Helm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're just taking a quick look here at Rejects.
Yeah.
So this is a parody comic which is kind of poking fun at superhero tropes. and it's a fun, colorful comic. If you guys out there ever want to have a good laugh, this is a good read. So just keep that in mind.
And the inks have finally been finished on Rejects issue 2. It kind of went into limbo there for a while, and I took over and finished off the inks on the second half. And Haley Martin is coloring away furiously, so the issue 2 should be coming up pretty soon.
Awesome. That's awesome news. All right. Yeah. So, do you guys think that humor is missing in comic books these days?
It depends on where you look.
Yeah.
I think
Depends on what you consider humorous.
Yeah. I mean, that too. I mean, humor is
Guts,
subjective.
that makes me laugh every time.
I think
if you wanted to see it, you
we
could
should
find
say
it.
purposely funny.
Mhm.
I think you could find if that's what you wanted to read.
Yeah.
I think you could probably find.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I
some
don't
out
think
there. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that the big two are putting out that's funny. And then they're not trying to
Yeah.
put anything out that's funny.
No.
But if you look hard enough, you're going to find funny stuff. But again, funny is subjective. For instance, I won't watch anything with Will Ferrell in it because I cannot stand him.
I don't care for him either. I don't care for
But
him
a lot
either.
of people find that he is just
Yeah.
hilarious. My husband won't watch anything with Jim Carrey. You know?
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think Jim Carrey's a genius. He goes over the top way too often. But yeah.
Yeah, there's certain like you said, it's so subjective. There's certain humor like styles, I guess, or comedy styles. Like I don't like yelling comics. If all they do is just yell, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yell and use cuss words. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like comedy that gets its laughter out of embarrassment.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. So we were mentioning earlier, like parody comics can get into the mean territory, right? You can kind of get like you can get into some pretty nasty stuff, and very quickly. So like the French artist that we showed earlier at the start of the show, Honoré Daumier, some people did not appreciate his work because he was poking fun at them, right? And I think he got chased down by various guys and lawyers and whatnot because of his
tried to cancel him.
his portrayals of them. But I don't think he ever like leaned too hard into the mean. Like he didn't go so hard that it was like obscenely mean, right? And so it but there would be guys who would probably come after him who ended up pushing that envelope. And there have been various comics magazines that have, particularly the undergrounds, where they take it to some pretty interesting dark territory.
Would you consider Doonesbury to be a parody?
Yes, but it's a parody of society at large, or of politics.
But it's always got a message to it, though.
Yes. So
it's poking fun at society, but it's also pointing out our foibles.
Yes, as would Bloom County.
Yep.
Bloom County back in the day was a parody of the stuff that was going on in the world. So those would be more political satire, and
that's true.
But they're a form of parody because they're parodying society at large.
So what's the difference? Where do you draw the line between parody and satire?
Well, I think satire is a form of parody.
Mm-hmm.
Kaz is the expert here, so I want Kaz's opinion.
I'm the expert.
You're the writer.
I mean, I'm the expert. Look, you learned to write in like second grade, Barb.
I just sling the black stuff around, you know.
No, I think, because I had to look up the definition of parody too, because I just wanted to make sure. I think parody does have to have an element of humor to it. So then when you go darker, I don't think that's, maybe there is dark humor, but when your focus is to go dark and serious, I think it goes out of the parody zone, even if you are exaggerating the art.
Right.
To
there's a line where you cross and it's like okay, you've gone into like this weird territory, right? You can see that they're skewing
Right.
skewing reality, but they've twisted it like to a very strange place. That does happen.
Because the '90s was full of, I mean, Beavis and Wouldn't you consider Beavis and Butthead and
Yeah. That's
Something else I never watched.
Yeah, that's more satire.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Oh, you think Beavis and Butthead is satire?
Yeah,
It was so funny that I thought it was it could go to.
What would it be parodying? It would have to be a
Wasn't that like the 80s?
parody. Parody is an imitation of
Beavis
something.
and Butthead was 90s.
But twisting it.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
satire is poking fun at either a meme or something
agree.
political. That's satire.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, Pogo.
Right, sure.
The comic strip was
Which one?
kind of satiric. Pogo.
Pogo, yes.
From the 1950s.
Right.
Do you know anything
Yes.
about Pogo?
No.
I have
that's
met the enemy, and he is us.
He is us. Yes. That's the famous line from Pogo.
Yeah.
And that was
That's the most famous
satire,
line.
more or less.
That's the
So
most
now,
famous
interestingly enough, I had the impollutable Pogo, and
Mhm.
and that compendium of strips, or that was very funny, and actually like when you read it, it was very tight and worked really well. But the second I started reading Pogo outside of that book, none of it was funny anymore. It was just like,
it was topical. A lot of it was
Yeah.
topical and was based on what was going on
Yeah.
at that
At the time.
Yeah.
And so without that context to it, it's not going to be as funny or as
Right.
And it wasn't always funny. He was poking.
Yeah.
He was poking fun at
Yeah.
things. He was pointing things out.
Yeah.
And
But for whatever reason, Impollutable Pogo, great read.
Well, that was probably edited well and picked out stuff that people would understand
Yeah.
today. There's a book series edited by Mark Vanier now that started out. It started out with the very first Pogo strips and is going to reprint all of them in book format. Yeah. So and it's an impressive piece of work. But you would cover everything. But I think most people would find that they don't, unless they're really steeped in the history of the time in which it was done. They're not going to understand all the satire in it. No, so
Fascinating.
Well, according.
Yeah. So I was just going to.
I don't know. I didn't mean to grind everything to a halt
No.
with that statement, but everything just kind of died after that.
So of our parody books that we presented tonight, which one do you think would work the best?
Cat and Mouse.
Rat and Grouse?
I don't know. I think the Twilight Grimm, the
Spotlight Grimm?
Yeah, I think that one would actually. I think you
or
could
Spotlight Slim. Yeah,
into character.
yeah, yeah. I think, and I think Grumps is also. I think
because I came up with a similar concept, and I'm going, oh, all right, yeah, because Grumps, yeah, I think that could be done well.
Yeah.
It's set in a nursing home. Yeah, and the one guy's always running around with his VR glasses. Get off my lawn! I'm not on your lawn. Well, you are in here.
I like Cat and Mouse, only instead of the Black Widow, it's the brown recluse, and they can't get her out of her house, the big mansion.
Because she's reclusive in her house.
Oh boy, yeah. Okay, so that would work. Yeah, Rat and Grouse and the brown recluse. Yeah. So like I said, I think to have a quality parody, you have to the source material has to be spot on. You have to nail the fact that people know that you're referencing that original character, and then the original idea, and that you're playing off of it, and then you just play in that space and push it to the nth degree, and figure out all sorts of like how do you make all the ideas funny. Mm-hmm. And just kind of keep twisting the little little thing. All right. Well, it looks like we've hit our hour. Is it okay if I tell you guys a quick joke to cap off the night?
Oh, absolutely.
no.
Go for it.
All right.
So if you're flying an airplane with 503 bricks, but it can only carry 502, what would you do?
Oh, does this have anything to do with bodily functions?
No.
Barb, I knew you were gonna go
No.
there.
So if you're flying an airplane, and it has the 503 bricks, and you can only carry 502, what would you do?
Oh my god! I mean,
Give one away.
Well, you probably throw the brick off the plane. Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, all right. So if you have an elephant and he wants to cool off in your fridge, how would you do that?
In my fridge?
Well, okay. Well, yeah.
Well, you empty the fridge, put the elephant in, and close the door. Now, if a giraffe wants
How
to
do
be,
you know if one's been hiding in your refrigerator?
not
Elephant
sure.
Footprints in the Jello.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. And now, if a giraffe wants to be cold in the fridge, what would you do?
Put the giraffe in the fridge and close the door.
Well, you have to take the elephant out first, and then you put the giraffe in the fridge and close the door.
Take the elephant.
So
out
all the
first.
monkeys in the jungle decided to have a party. So all the animals went and they were enjoying themselves and having a great time. Now I had a friend, Susie. She was out swimming in the river in the jungle where all the crocodiles were, and she died. Do you know how she died?
She croaked.
Her ass jumped by a crocodile.
Well, no, the crocodiles were all at the party, so she drowned.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But do you know why she drowned?
She couldn't swim.
Oh no, somebody threw a brick off an airplane.
yeah, I guess.
All right. Boo.
All right, one more. If you had to, but you didn't want to, what would you do?
If you had to and you didn't want to,
what would you do?
Subtract? I don't know.
if you had to and you didn't want to,
What would you do?
You take one away.
You got it, Barb.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look
Nice.
at that. Yeah.
All right, folks, we have now gone off the rails. We are now parodying ourselves, and we hope you guys had a good night. We hope you guys out there had a good laugh. I had a good laugh. Maybe I had more of a good laugh than anyone else, but I enjoyed that.
Well, you worked harder than anybody else with all those drawings.
Did you hear about the explosion in the cheese factory in France?
Oh no.
There was
What?
debris everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Debris was everywhere.
We gotta go.
Debris was everywhere.
We gotta go before. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled
Stop
for
before
your first
we
issue
pun.
of. Keep your eyes peeled from Copper Twine Comics. No, I'm just kidding. Grumps or Spotlight Slim or Rat and Grouse. We're just teasing. Unless you demand it. If you demand it, I mean, who knows? Roland might make something happen. So if any of those ideas really tweak your buttons, you guys out there in internet land, start yelling at Roland and see what he says. All right. So in the meantime, do not forget or fund my comic, Cat and Mouse Vipers. We have reached stretch goals, and thank you for everyone who's already contributed. But if you have not, Cat and Mouse is a fantastic adventure, and is, I think, one of the. I think it's a modern comic that's kind of leading the charge back into the superhero space, and making things normal in superhero land. So, yeah, give that a look. It's a great book. So,
Bringing
and
the
as we
fun back
always
to
say,
funny books.
yes. Yes. So as we always say, when we come to the close, make mine Silverline.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn. Make mine Silverline.